go then for the Batman. Time is now. Power Parkin. International is ready to dance in the Champions League for 2025. Nearly a golden duck to start off the season for Eddie, which wouldn't have been what he wanted. Watch this cue ball right off the rip here.
How did it go in? Did it straight in or does it get kicked in? Oh, it's terrible. That's so unlucky. That's it. I mean, it did look like
go a long time without doing that again.
Yeah, it went in so quick. I was like, how has that happened? But he hit that perfectly. And yeah, very, very unfortunate for him. Cue ball in hand in the break area for Phil, and great opportunity to start this match strongly.
Well, one of the main reasons you cut break is because of that element of cue ball control. Very difficult to go in off the cut break. I mean, as exhibited there, that was pretty hard to do what he just did.
Yeah, and another one that's an interesting decision. You know, both the red and yellows, the same problem for both. It's the red and yellow right at the middle of the bottom cushion. Which way round you want to solve it? Phil's decided to open up the yellow to bottom right, but that's only half the problem. And now you've got to get back onto it. I actually think the yellow went bottom right. He didn't need to move the red. I don't think that was his plan. Maybe he was trying to move the yellow, or even swing past the yellow. Maybe missed his target by distance. I don't think the plan would have been to move that red because the yellow already went.
Difficult ball to land on there.
This is where, you know, if you're an opponent here, if you're ready, you sat there going, oh, that yellow at the bottom is tricky. How's Phil going to get there? But Phil's so good at just figuring it out and finding a way.
He used all of the pocket there to manufacture as much angle as he could. See the plan here.
Hit the red full in the face. You're happy with that. Target that red. Don't slide by it. He's in trouble now.
Big ball. I was about to say, when you mentioned, you know, you get his seat thinking, shot to play here, you're probably, if you're Batman, also thinking, yeah, go on, Phil. You crack on at these.
Oh, 100%. But Phil's one of those players that you sit there in your chair and you think that, and then he keeps getting out.
Yeah, very
There's
true.
There's other players that make the game look so easy that also have the, you know, John McAllister, prime example, when he's at his best. You can sit there and think every time he's got a ball in, he's going to make the clearance, so you can kind of get a little bit sucked in that way as well. I think what I'm getting at is just don't watch your opponent. Just wait till it's your turn at the table.
Phil was absolutely lining that one up for the right centre pocket. It was a difficult shot. He didn't quite get there. So the Batman an opportunity to go one in front here. And if you were to sort of choose your route to go 1-0 in front, having your opponent fail to get out and leaving you a simple clearance would be the method of choice, if you had such a choice, of course.
I think the 8-ball left centre's a little bit easier than it looks on our main camera, so I'm with you. Yeah, I mean, it's just the connection between the bottom end to the top end, but he's got pretty good connections here. Try and come up and straight in top right next, and you're pretty much out, aren't you? The only way you can go wrong here is leaving loads of angle. He just tracks the line beautifully. It's just, that's the way you want to play that one. In the sweet spot for an age. Don't leave it straight though, Eddie. That's a loose one. He has to force this now. He does have a turn of angle, but you don't want to be forcing anything. Maybe he's got just enough to not overdo it.
Yeah, very smoothly done from Eddie Barker in the end. In the 8-ball for 1-0, and gets a little bit of a ripple for his troubles as well. It was interesting to hear in his interview so it sort of echoed what you said in the studio segment. You know, Eddie feels like he's had one of the best years of his sort of pool career last year, but he didn't really do too much on an ultimate pool side of things in a bit of a strange way. He got to one quarter-final, but it was one of those years, and a lot of players have them, where a couple of matches here and there and your entire season can look dramatically different. But one thing you can say is he had great success outside of the ultimate pool tour.
Yeah, and it's great to see. I mean, he's such a good character, and he's going really well everywhere, but it's hard to go well on the ultimate stage. It really is. And maybe calling it the ultimate, oh, Phil, that's just as bad as Eddie's in the previous one. Can Eddie do better than Phil, though? But yeah, just going back to Eddie, I mean, it is just tough. I mean, the fields are so strong with ultimate pool, and you've got so many, machines that it's hard to, a quarterfinal's a great run. How do you then make the breakthrough and get yourself to the next stage? Whenever we get to these Monday nights, I'm always kind of looking at players, what do you need to do to go from being an incredibly good pool player to being a winner on this stage? It's hard to really know with Eddie, because you see him play at his best and the all-round game is there. Doesn't feel quite as kamikaze as some, it feels like he does have an all-round game. It's just very, very difficult.
One thing you can say is there won't be many more popular winners were he ever to break through and take down an ultimate pool title.
Completely agree.
Creator of one of the maddest moments of 2024, at least from a personal perspective, when called out in the last man standing, and he came out into the arena to have a chat with me and pulled out a Batman mask out of his back pocket and recited some poetry. I don't think I've ever been so speechless in my entire life.
I don't think he's picked a particularly good route here. Needed to deal with the 8-ball, where's it going, how are you getting on it earlier than this. These are sort of 3 balls that don't connect and don't connect to the 8-ball. So with ball in hand, could he have done more to find a cleaner plan than the one he's come up with? Yeah, fully in trouble. This feels like the previous frame,
watching like
in
a mirror.
Reverse. Yeah. I'm certain if Eddie could have this chance back and freeze frame it at the layout after the break, he would come up with something different than what he's done. Because it looked wide open, that 8-ball being the only one that looked tricky.
You don't have sight of this red. Can you get it moving somewhere towards a pocket?
I mean, I've no idea how. You can't even kick at it because it's blocked off to the corner. You can't play it straight. I mean, it's going to kick at it because you can't play it straight because you're too dangerous to put the 8-ball in. You can't. But the yellow's in the way. Top right is the only one I can even remotely see it going in, and that's such a slim chance. Little fortunate with where the yellow and red have finished at the bottom of the table. Yellow by the right centre is also awkward, so not as clean a counter here for Phil Parkin as it was for Eddie in the previous frame.
Yeah, this may take a couple of visits, and Phil might be wise to just ensure that it does.
If the red doesn't pass the yellow to bottom right, I quite like playing the one right centre and getting the cue ball across near the left-hand cushion. He's gone the other way. Felt like there was less margin for error. If he goes the other way around, it felt like the yellow near the triangle area becomes more of a blocker. He's still not leaving much on, but he has left sight of the red.
Yeah, just had to ask our referee there in the backing picture, Arch Tesco, to make sure that yellow wasn't frozen to the cushion. And he could just play off it and track up the table and fulfil his duties of hitting a cushion after every shot. Going on there for Eddie, nothing is going to fall, and now the yellows are all open, and that good safety shot is going to be rewarded for Phil Parkin.
Got to get these now. Not an absolute certainty. Yellow's gone off onto the side cushion, so he's got to find the connector there. It's not too tough. Could have done with that yellow just coming off the cushion an extra turn. Make it a little bit easier to drop it in and control yourself onto the one on the right hand side, which is the ball I think you'd want to play next. He's deciding to come down the table. If you're coming down, I like trying to get on the one on the bottom cushion. Not straight though. He isn't. And now this is perfect because he can just float underneath the right centre. You go top right, you've got left centre to connect yourself back into good shape. Sees it a different way.
He does, Phil Parkin.
Yeah, we'll say that a lot with Phil. You know, still would have been wanting to get on that yellow on the right hand side. I feel like that's still the biggest stumbling block. But he can get there now. Surprised he didn't put a little bit of right hand side on that one, trying to get a little bit straighter, because now he's got to control the cue ball across and he's too thin, and I think he's passed the straight to left centre to get on that yellow. Might even be playing into the yellow here.
I don't think he's got a choice.
He was trying to play past it. He actually had more angle on that to left centre than I thought. It looked like to me he was just off straight the wrong way, but actually used the pocket, created an angle that perhaps wasn't quite there, but still hasn't worked. And at the start of this visit, the yellow on the right hand side was the problem, and he was never able to get on it or solve it.
Yeah, I think I can see what he was trying to do. I just think he's overplayed one shot. You know, he plays that last shot before the yellow into the left centre better, and it's a simple screw back straight to the yellow down the rail, and you're sort of not really questioning it. But just the overhitting of one shot, it really can just derail your entire visit. Slide for Batman.
He's still going to win the frame, so yeah. But you look back at those visits, and you know the times when you don't win those frames, you know you don't get the snooker, and your opponent gets their second chance. That they can be the difference between winning and losing matches at the elite level. So, you know, Phil will look back at that and think, yeah, I probably should have got those. I just couldn't figure it out. No harm, no foul.
There we go, one each. Yeah, not a vintage from both players just yet. Still a long way to go, of course. Had a good visit, both had a bad visit.
Yeah, neither player will be particularly happy. Both players will feel like they should have got their first visits. Phil in particular needed 2 on his frame he won. They're both into the night now, they're both up and running, and the next 7.5 minutes are going to be pivotal for their chances, you feel. Batman wants the same break again, but cue ball to stay on the table. Everything else the same.
Oh, even better. A golden break for the Batman, who flies into a 2-1 lead. As he apologises to Phil with a beaming smile on his face.
I mean, that's easier, isn't it? Just do that. Don't have to worry about making the break clearance. This is a brilliant break, though.
I'm a big fan of anyone that celebrates a golden break properly.
It's still, even now, year 5, it feels uncomfortable for the players, but good on you, Eddie. Good on you.
Trailing 2 frames to 1.
Sped things up a little bit in terms of the scoreboard and the match clock. 6.5 left. 2-1 now. Oh, it's a great break. There's no way.
And he knew it all the way down as well. It's one of the horrible ones because he saw that line before anybody else. As soon as they hit that top cushion, he knew he was in trouble.
That's so tough. So tough.
Does the red on the top cushion pass the other red? Because if it does, then you take it now and you're out. It can't do because he's got to take this one first. Just complicates things a fraction. Just got to be careful pulling this straight back. Yeah, that's fine. And now, one good pot along the top cushion. The only thing is he may have just a touch too much angle. He really wants to kill the cue ball here. Straight in, left or right centre would be fine. Yeah, does a good job Actually, may have killed it a roll quicker than he wanted. Yeah, an extra turn down the table would have made things just a touch easier, but I think he's straight enough here. He can use the pocket, just wants to pull back past straight on the red to left centre. And he hasn't, so he'll have to take the red to the corner. Last ball, you feel? It's not worth the risk of trying to load up with side here, just accept what you got.
Second shot clock in play.
Just a couple of centimetres
Extension.
out on where he would have ideally wanted to be on a couple of shots. It just means he's got a half shot to play here. The batsman.
Yeah, those 3 yellows were just awkward because he wanted to get where those 3 yellows were on that line, and then it would have been hampered queuing. So just a little awkward, and still, it's a straight 8 ball to the corner to win a frame. You take it.
That's a good job. He's practiced that. I mean, there is using the shot clock, and there is using the shot clock. That's a real trusting of your cue arm there.
Yeah, and it's absolutely fine. He did hit it in time, but you could tell how close it was because our referee, Orit Tezgad out there, he did have a quick look at the timer just for confirmation. I mean, he was pretty confident, but he wanted to make sure that, you know, that there's another referee doing the timing as well, and make sure they were both in agreement there. Otherwise, VAR would have been used.
Frame 5. Eddie marks a break, leading 3 frames to 1.
Same again then, Eddie wins the match. And that won't be lost on Phil Parkin as well. That cue ball was sailing in the right centre pocket and stopped in its tracks. A couple of good nudges on the bounce here for Eddie. I like the reds here. Looks like he's eyeing up the yellow left centre. I like the reds. You've got red top right. Every red's sort of got a pocket comfortably. Yellow's more work. Yeah, now he's seen it.
Oh, Eddie. Oh, Eddie, that's a terrible, terrible miss.
Yeah, it's a poor one from Eddie. Didn't see the shot to start with, and in the end rushed it a little bit. Maybe taking so long on the 8 ball in the previous frame, maybe it was just in the back of his mind as well. Given Phil Parkin a touch of hope here.
Was just in time.
It's not often that Phil runs the clock down to the wire. One of the quicker players on the tour. Natural pace is sub 15.
It's a lovely shot.
I was underhit it. Needed to get back. Maybe an extra foot. Wanted to be able to get onto the red on the left-hand side. He actually had a good angle on the red he's just played to get on that red, but decided to get onto this one first. And because of that, he might be in trouble here.
He also might not be.
It's tough to get across here. Oh, it's just flipped the yellow, isn't it? Back double on. Can he hold the cue ball up enough if he goes for the back double?
There was not a lot of room
Oh
there.
my.
That is a hell of a dig from Phil Parkin.
And the cue ball had its own touch as well.
There was barely anything there for him. That's a fabulous out. How on earth has he done that? Just played one really poor shot where he underhit it by a foot, really, and then had to wave the magic wand. I mean, how on earth has this squeezed in?
Flicks the yellow, cue ball hits the jaws. A lot going on there. I just think
he's back in business.
I just think where he was, and it's easy to say in hindsight, but you've got the perfect angle to get on that one on the cushion, and the one left down the table could have become a last ball. Obviously, it's never going to be picked out as a last ball, but there was acres of room for it to be last ball. Maybe could have gone the other way around there, but all credit to him. One way or another, he found a way.
Miss from Eddie could be massive. 150 left. Eddie could be in the shed right now with a 4-1 win to his name.
And he's come across for the golden as well here. He's come across for the golden.
Oh, it was almost a golden duck, which would have been the craziest way to lose it. Phil Parkin goes in off the break again, and you can't believe he's done this.
It's 3 straight as well, and 3 straight in off the break where not once has he got the cue ball going near a corner pocket or a centre pocket. 3 times he's been unfortunate.
3 different pockets, 3
Yeah.
different breaks. Absolutely brutal luck.
Really, really tough. The fact he's still, he's not. I mean,
And Eddie's had a golden break.
and Eddie's had a golden break as well. Yeah, I mean Eddie's got the match in his hands here. He just has to manage the clock. But I mean, the fact that Phil's 3-2 with everything that's gone on with the break is pretty impressive in all honesty. Not really a good out here, but he doesn't need to. Just got to use the beeps. What does he need to play? 3 more shots, and he still could get out. If he gets this shot right, he could open up these yellows. Didn't even try, just plays the gap, and if he's on the yellow to bottom right, he's in prime position to make the finish, but it's job over.
Yeah, Phil's a quick player, but he's not going to
Yeah.
be able to clear in 20 seconds, which is what Eddie would be asking, even if he missed this shot.
He played that perfectly. Guaranteed to leave a yellow one after this one, and that is job done.
Yeah,
Fascinating
excellent
match,
stuff
though.
from Eddie Barker, who's just going to scrape over the line. And in the end, that golden break was a mighty big decider in this matchup. At the final act, and the Batman is going to get a win next to his name in the group table. He and John McAllister make a winning start. Phil Parkin will be next up, and he's going to need to beat Rikki Jones in a loser goes home match in the Champions League. An excellent start from Eddie Barker, who is off and running for 2025.